shit. I'm gonna replay that for Jimmy. Fuck it. Let's fucking get it on.
Where are we at? Hold on.
let's shoot this down. Let me you put your fucking change your background real quick.
You
Put up.
want to? I'm not. Don't start me on the fucking background shit. Don't even fucking start.
Where's one of your kids? I don't want to see a light
No,
blue thing. I want to see some.
not
You
doing
know what? I want to see fire.
I'm not. I'm not doing it. Imagine some fire. I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it, Beans. Look, you pulled me out of bed to do this.
Oh, you were in bed? You were in fucking. You were asleep.
Fuck no. No. This is an impromptu. I don't want to hear it. I had everything planned to have it ready for Friday.
Oh, you can't. This is our January 6th special, baby. This is a special to the time our capital almost fell.
You remember that?
Yeah, the whole thing almost fell, including the name of the Redskins fell that day. That became the football team. Everybody felt deaths were everywhere. Everyone was slaughtered on the ground. It was horrific.
I think they're going to be. It's like the Redskins name, okay? All the impact lessons over time. Now I'm wondering what the next one's going to be, and I'm all into it. I was so fucking furious when they changed that name, but you get used to it. They grind you down.
Oh, I've refused to call it the football team once. My father acquiesced immediately, and when I call it the Redskins, he'll correct me and go, the football team, and I go fuck yourself, Dad. No, there's no.
I don't believe I've ever called them the quote Washington football team.
Let's go to the moon tonight. Let's go right there. What do you want to see in the background? What would inspire you to be fucking? You know, I know what I'll do. So this holiday. They are fucking. They have a moment of silence for this. They have a whole day planned. They have like seances. They have dead. I wish I could make this shit up. It's a whole calendar of nonsense. You remember when they all kneeled in African garb?
This thing creeped up on me so fast. I had so many plans for today, and
I know.
Christmas comes and then I look up, it's January 6th.
And now did you buy me a gift?
I've been thinking about this day all year.
All year. I haven't even had time to shop. I got you something nice for January 6th. I got you a piece of African garb that you can take a knee in, like let's see if actually I need to change the background because the sun, the moon, the stars. What have you done all week? What have you been doing? What have you been doing? What have you been doing to celebrate January 6th? What have you been doing?
Whatever I've been doing, I was starting to get a real gay vibe from the background and the music and everything. So,
gay vibe, dude. There's nothing fucking gay about this. This is
it's you. It's you.
Oh, I'm the gay vibe.
You in the middle of that, all the stars and shit.
There you go. Is that less gay? There you go. There you go.
Is this OAR?
No, this is actually Emmett Swimming. Emmett Swimming's
also. Oh, no shit. Emmett Swimming. Arlington.
Yep, Arlington. And Tamer.
He was the size of Andre the Giant.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yeah, and yes, he is. He's still around.
Yes.
He's a fucking monster.
Yep.
And Tamer's the drummer, and Tamer's a fucking beast on the drum. And the lead singer's voice is sick. If he weren't like 6'8" and fucking 340, looked like Andre the Giant, they might have been something. Personally, I think they were weight shamed because this band should have been massive. In my mind, they always will be. So what have you been doing to celebrate January 6th, Jimmy?
I hear you. Hold on. I've made a mess.
It's okay. That's what guys do. You know,
Well,
guys do, especially when they're looking at pictures of
we could start by
I don't know.
Listen.
Yeah, why don't we start this mockery? We start this mockery proper.
I think I think we should start with a moment of listening,
Okay.
and we can couple it up with a moment of silence because it's the same thing.
Okay.
I want to have a moment of listening to everybody's problems and all the liberals, bitches with us. I'd love to hear them, and I'll give them mine, and maybe we can all just agree to disagree and live happily ever after.
All right, let's start with like I agree, like almost like a festivus, like a airing of grievances of, but whiny, sort not whiny. I mean, let's take this very seriously. Like a real serious moment of silence. Like let's talk about your emotions, Jimmy. What's going on with you? How do you feel? How does this make you feel? Did you feel threatened on 1/6/20 after Trump falsely, in spite of zero evidence, claimed that Joe Biden was the most popular president in U.S. history, which clearly he is? Did that assault your senses? Of course it did. Did for me. I mean, I felt assaulted by these false allegations. And how have you responded to that sort of pain and suffering that you felt from that day? I am no such a Barry Cohen. I am definitely, that guy's a fucking genius. He can do it with a straight face.
Well, Eric, if you
hold on, let me add the picture for the background to let you really. That's all.
I don't even have anything to say.
I mean, you should have a lot to say. It was very painful for all of us. Many people died that day. It was more painful for this nation than the Civil War, I tell you. Lots of stuff almost happened that didn't happen, and it almost happened. A couple Trump supporters got killed. And
I do remember 9/11, and 9/11 botched quite a few good parties for me, and this was much worse than that. This was absolutely
much worse.
Okay, I gotta back up. No disrespect to 9/11. I was just making a joke.
No, you were respecting January 6th, not disrespecting 9/11. I mean, to put things in perspective, January 6th is way worse than 9/11. I mean, light years worse. People almost were killed in January 6th.
Who's believing this shit? Who is believing this shit?
The same people that believe the vaccines work and stuff, but they do, which clearly they do, keep getting the same jab, of the same jab of the thing that didn't work the first 17 times. Just don't think. Stop asking questions. Listen, this show is brought to you by Pfizer, and don't think. Just take the jab, and that 1/6 is way worse than 9/11 ever was. Brought to you by Pfizer. I wish Pfizer should pay us for this because we're keeping straight face. Send this to us and be like, this is our trial. Like, how much money for this show? Make at least a couple grand to keep a straight face during this shit.
Yeah.
How the fuck does I would never take their money. Do you know they were they actually lost I don't want this is a conspiracy theory because it's a court case, but there were multiple court cases where Pfizer lost, I think, $3.6 billion, and there were a bunch of other pharmaceutical companies. And what they were guilty of in court, and this is again completely conspiracy, so obviously not true, even though it happened in court, um, for bribing people, basically, for paying people to lie and say whatever the fuck they wanted them to say, which they learned their lesson. Even though that never happened, they learned their lesson and they would never do such a thing ever.
How the fuck can I goddamn follow you back and forth with this shit?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's put on something. Let's put on some good. Let's put on some good music for you.
Let's go to the golden era, man. Put me on some 50s.
Some 50s, some doo-wop. Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
some
man.
doo-wop. Oh my goodness, that era is just such a happy ass era.
How about we start with the Dell Vikings with "Come Go With Me"?
Okay, there we go. I was just getting ready to go random shit. Come go with me. Let's do it. I don't even know if I know that song.
Oh, you know it.
I'm not sure till I know. There we go. The Dell Viking. Boom. Oh, of course I know it. Yeah. You know this movie, Stand By Me. I watch this movie every day, multiple times. I think for over a year.
I'm right with you, man.
I used to watch it every fucking day. From the music to the attitude to the
It's
actual.
it's a genius movie. I mean, it's a genius book, but you know they adapted it very very well.
It was Stephen King, right? Stephen,
It was a short story, and it was called The Body.
yeah, The Body, and Stephen King redid the movie. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Stephen.
Spielberg.
I don't know who made the movie. I
God
know that.
damn it! I mean, I watched the movie so many times. I literally didn't obviously paid zero attention to the credits. And let me see if I can find it.
Hey, and how good is Richard Dreyfuss narrating that?
Oh, he's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. If
Amazing job.
I mean, not even a deduction from the Russian judge. He's straight across the board. It actually might be the most perfect. I mean, other than I could make a case for I could make a case for Morgan Freeman.
It's always Morgan Freeman, and
yeah, I know what you mean.
And that's because it is. I mean, Morgan Freeman is the fucking goat.
He is the goat.
But for that particular movie, he was able to pitch a perfect game.
Yeah, Dreyfuss did pitch a perfect game for that movie. And think about those kids that were in that movie. I mean, you know, all of them became stars except River Phoenix crapped out pretty. He crapped out pretty.
Yeah.
He went a little hard. But
the other guy, and then the other guy went kind of cuckoo, and he, you know, and that's a matter of opinion. The Corey Feldman.
Feldman, I think Feldman's legit when he says that he was molested, and the other Corey was also molested. I think Feldman's telling the truth. He tried to sort of pump it up. Feldman doesn't know how to be genuine because he's been doing this for so long, so it kind of came across awkward. But he does music and stuff now. It's you know, again, I applaud him for continuing his life. I mean, everybody's got their own path. I'm not one to judge, but that kid, the two Coreys and Feldman have done some amazing work that I love. So I'm not going to hate on it because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that kid's music sucks. Although it's not in my playlist, I still think it's fine.
Let me tell you something. And you're right. My opinion is I don't want to listen to it. But anybody that's ever been up in front of anybody doing something, performing, knows what that's like. They know what it's like to crash and burn, and they know what it's like to put smiles on people's face. So if you can't have some sympathy for that, I mean, he just crushes through the naysayers. You know, he doesn't care that he's become a joke. He's going to do what he wants to do, and I appreciate that.
I mean, these child actors, it never turns out well. I mean, even Miley Cyrus, who's still doing it, seems, you know, uh, and her father seems really well grounded. I mean, her father lives in the country, doesn't have internet stuff. She just still seems fairly tormented by anybody who's entered into that Disney realm, has some
Yeah,
demons to deal with. I mean,
I mean,
Jake Paul also, he wouldn't be out there having knockout of the year if he didn't have some fucking demons. He wouldn't
so
be
let
exploring.
me let me ask you something. Is it just that it's been around so much longer? How come no? I don't know how to word this. How come this hasn't become um, a crusade like the Catholic Church became?
I think it had.
Hey,
Were you throwing children to be abused? I think it's just like
yeah.
the
How
Catholic
how
Church.
co- how, how come how come they haven't broken this Hollywood ring? This everything they're talking about that sounds pretty legit. How come they haven't broken it yet?
Well, very easy, very easy. You saw it in the Ghislaine Maxwell case, right? So there are thousands of people involved in this. Okay, they called four witnesses. They buried all the evidence. They killed one of the witnesses, which is Epstein, who didn't kill himself. And then you have Ghislaine, who just made it through. His father was Mossad. You basically have, if the Catholic Church, which is one of the most prominent and powerful places in the world, is allowed to operate with impunity here in the United States, where every time one of their bishops gets in trouble, they move the bishop to another place.
Yeah.
It's clearly sanctioned and it's clearly organized and it's on a higher level than you and I could ever imagine. Because if you have clear crimes that are not only covered up, but aided and abetted by your own
But that's my
government.
point. That's my point. That was uncovered.
Yeah.
How come this has not been worldwide uncovered?
Well, because again, it was uncovered by you and I, but the people that were aiding and abetting it are the ones that were doing it in the first place. So Epstein was a FBI informant. Epstein was a Mossad informant. So he was a government resource. So basically our government is human trafficking. They're doing it right now. I mean, we're importing kids across this border and shooting them all over the country into places with God knows what, not to their parents and guardians, but we're just trafficking children. Our federal government is actively involved in human trafficking today.
Are
And
we going to be able to? Are we going to be able to get this even if they take it off?
yeah, you and I'll have it, but
You and I'll
yeah,
have a copy of it.
yeah, you and I'll have a copy. Who gives a fuck? I mean, it's public knowledge right now. They're trafficking kids all over the country. There was a thing recently in Pennsylvania and in Florida. We have videos of kids, and in Texas especially, kids being roped into these planes and roped onto these buses, traveled in the middle of the night, unloaded, put into dark ass buses, and shipped out. And they even know that they go into certain adoption agencies. Well, why would a child who's there to meet their father across the border or their sister or mother across the border go to an adoption agency? They wouldn't. So
Yeah.
now if the kid gets separated, so now we've created this weird incentive. So now the Democrats, but I shouldn't say that because Democrats, it's not the right word. Democrats are good people. There are really good people. The leftists are the people that have taken over the party. The Democrats are becoming more centrist, like you and I, because I'm technically a classic liberal. I would be more of like a Kennedy Democrat. I like freedom. People to be able to do whatever they want. So now they have this whole thing going on where these kids are just being, basically shipped throughout the country into God knows where. and they're creating an incentive of $450,000. They want to offer $450,000 if the child and the parent are separated. But if there's a child and a parent, it's a $900,000 incentive for somebody to have broken the law and then been separated, where they basically let the kid be, used and abused or whatever the case is. In the meantime, keep in mind, this is the same government that offered you and I $600 for adhering to all the COVID violations. So the U.S. government has clearly chosen illegals over us and child trafficking over the general population. But who am I to judge? This is all completely false, by the way. None of this is true.
You just read this somewhere, didn't you?
Yeah, it's some conspiracy theory site. Although the $450,000 apparently is a real piece of legislation that obviously has to be fake.
Jesus Christ.
Per person. So it could be 900. Yeah. I mean, the hell? I just put on doo-wop. What the hell is this type of shit? There you go. Hold on. There you go.
All right, I'm going to take a shot. Now, let it play. I'm going to say, is it the Elegance?
It is the Elegance. Look at you. Boom. Dude, that's fucking pretty dope. You know your doo-wop real well. There's a band that I like quite a bit that has a doo-wop feel. I'll play after this. And it's a new band. It's called the California Honey Drippers, and that California Honey Drops. I apologize, but they keep that that doo-wop feel. They bring it in. They keep it, and I love their shit. So January 6th tomorrow. You've been watching. What do you know about what happened on January 6th?
I don't know a goddamn thing.
Do you know?
Go ahead.
Do you know about Epps?
No.
Do you know who that is?
No. Omar Epps.
Omar Epps. Epps is a so the entire January 6th. Here's the conspiracy theory behind it. The entire January 6th thing was called by many people that also said that the Wuhan flu was made out of China. Those same assholes that lied about the Wuhan flu being
I deplore those people.
Me too. Those people are disgusting. But they actually come up with a theory that it's called a Fedsurrection, which means that the federal government put the whole thing on. Now, here's how it went down according to them. So, Trump speaking, okay? About 12 minutes before he's speaking, the violence breaks out. This is before the big white supremacist groups that are run by the FBI, like the what's the Proud Boys? Okay,
the Ku Klux Klan.
The Proud Boys. So the Proud Boys leader is an FBI informant. Very well known. It's court documented. So is number 2. So the Proud Boys is a FBI creation. Okay. So right before, there's a big breach where a guy named Epps, who had told everyone to go to the Capitol, is there. He whispers in somebody's ear, violence starts. They breach. Basically, they fight cops and push them back. Now, meantime, before that happened, they had turned down security, extra security. They turned down the National Guard. When I say they, Capitol Police is run by the Sergeant at Arms, and the Sergeant at Arms reports to the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House is Nancy Pelosi. So Nancy Pelosi runs the security of the U.S. Yes.
Yeah.
So she had been offered multiple lines of security and said no. Okay. By Trump actually said, "Do you want the National Guard?" No, 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 no. We don't want any. We got it all under control. There's a guy who went and planted lots of pipe bombs around, and somehow or another they never caught that guy. It's amazing.
That is amazing.
And I mean, this guy is a ninja, dude. I mean, he's on video. They have like a couple second clip, and he's planting pipe bombs all over the place to be able to distract security. But he's so ninja-like that even though he's on film, and even though it's the most filmed place in the entire country, and even though they've caught every grandma from here to Central America, they haven't caught him. So that particular guy distracts everybody. And all of a sudden, the siege starts. They start yanking down fences. So now they've got video of people that have the same colored bullhorn. So there's numerous people involved that have the exact same blue and white bullhorn.
Yep.
And the same tactical gear and the same other things that start yanking down all the signage and all the fences for the one area for which everyone would be coming. And then they have Epps, who was sitting there yelling to tell everybody to go into the Capitol, coordinating with a guy in the stands who also has a bullhorn. And everyone else comes in, doesn't realize that they're not even supposed to be there. There's no signage at that point. So they walk right through. The police open up the barricades and let a bunch of people through after a bunch of Antifa people start smashing through the windows for a few clips that the media gathered. And when I say Antifa, I mean because the guy who got arrested for taking the video turned out to be a BLM Antifa person. And yet our director of the FBI testified that no Antifa or BLM people were there, which is weird because CNN and other agencies actually paid for his particular video, where he was in there with a PBS reporter who actually said, delete this video because it was all part of a plan. So I'm sure this is all a coincidence. January had nothing to do with the federal government, and we would never do something like that.
That's pretty thin, Aaron. That's pretty thin.
Yeah, the whole thing's thin, and all these people that are rotting in jail right now with no due process that have been asked for evidence as to why and have been kept because the government says, look, you're not allowed to have that evidence. We haven't compiled it yet. So the government's basically argued that they don't want to give the evidence. They haven't compiled it yet, but they have enough evidence to hold their particular people in jail indefinitely. And what they want them to do, apparently, hypothetically, is to plead guilty and not see a trial date, because that trial date would expose, hypothetical bullshit that entrapped them in the first place. At least that's the conspiracy theory. So hundreds of great, brave, proud Americans, including grandmothers, are rotting in jail based on this horrible assault. And they belong there, goddammit. These people are horrible people. They walked through a barrier line that was pulled out by federal government agents, hypothetically. And these
some of them were also dressed as Vikings.
Yeah, that makes it extra bad. That guy is actually, I think he has one of the first people to have a court date. The Viking guy. But listen, again, this was a horrible day. Nobody got killed except for some Trump supporters. Remember the cop that they said got bashed by the fire extinguisher? You remember that story?
I do.
It was very beautiful. It was extremely interesting, and then it turned out not to be true. But either way, it's better that it was true. Let's just pretend that was true. And
pretend. We're allowed to do that here, aren't we?
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, if we're going to have a pretend holiday at January 6th, let's just pretend that cop did die the way the news told us it did for about 2 weeks until it turned out that he died a couple days later from a heart attack. But that's the original story of January 6th. It's a horrible day in this nation's history. Our democracy was almost ruined. They interrupted the stories about election fraud. These protesters actually ruined the entire stories of election fraud, which is also a conspiracy theory. And we almost heard some conspiracy theories, and thank God we didn't. And then all these poor people like AOC, were their lives were saved. They ran away. I mean, it was a horrible day. I mean, we should all be thankful that none of this hypothetical stuff ever hypothetically happened.
Till Then by the Classics.
Silhouettes. Silhouettes.
Oh, no. I'm asking you for a song.
Oh, okay.
Till Then by the Classics.
Okay. All right. Fuck it. Let's put it on. Are you still on Facebook?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah, nothing. No bullshit. Back and forth.
Classics. So you and Mike Sawyer agreed to have the oldest fight in history.
20 years from now. Listen to this voice.
Got it?
Till then, my darling, please wait for me. Till then, no matter when it may be, one day I know I'll be home again. Please wait. Till then, I'll dream.
So this is when he was a kid. Anyway, something like 30 years after he recorded this, you saw him. He played my wedding.
This guy played your wedding?
Yeah, this was the front guy for the band, the Classics.
He sings. He can sing his ass off. He's got a beautiful voice. Yeah.
Just
I wasn't
never.
I wasn't being silent because he told me. I was being silent out of respect for his voice. Guy's got a beautiful voice.
No, the guy's got a beautiful. He just never quite got over the hump, you know. And there's hundreds of those guys.
Thousands of millions. I mean, you know, when I was in the music industry, the most talented artists were not the ones that made it. They weren't even close. The most talented artists that made it were, because the most talented artists that I knew were mostly semi-mentally ill. I mean, to be quite honest, they couldn't pull their shit together. They couldn't be professional and artists. There's you know, different parts of the brain, but they couldn't show up on time. They couldn't do all the things. They couldn't take their abilities and manifest it into a business because the two parts of the brains are so different. The artists that made it were more like your Lady Gagas, you know, or your Pitbull, which again, the talent is there, but those people actually work their fucking nuts off. You know what I mean?
They're animals, absolute animals.
Day in and day out, you know, like Pitbull said on an interview, here today, gone today.
You know what's so amazing? Those. All right, I'll give you another song.
Go for it.
The 10 Commandments of Love.
How's your sister?
She wrote me a letter. Says she's really, really good.
Did you send her some of my finer wishes?
3 weeks. 3 weeks. No, she can only send me a letter. When I send her, I'm sending her emails, but she won't get them till later.
Got you.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at that whole you know, I'm not good at that providing support thing. you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Listen, from beers and brawlers, you can drink perfume to get really fucked up if things get really dark for you. Good luck in rehab.
And stand by me all the while.
To Marie.
With the heartache
Take happiness with the heartaches.
and
I
go
like
through
this.
life
I like this.
wearing a smile.
And go through life wearing a smile.
Oh, how happy we will be if we keep
Do you think the quartets are gonna come back, Jimmy? Everything comes back, right? Parachute pants, everything else.
Nothing like this. Nothing like this.
always have faith in me.
Thou
I mean,
shalt
he-
always have faith in me.
In everything
That's a bad motherfucker, isn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a pretty fucking great
Everything
song. I like it.
say and do.
love me with all
That
your
deep ass
heart
bass on there
and
is
soul
Love me
nasty.
with all your heart and soul.
until our life on earth is through. Oh, how happy we will be if we keep the 10 commandments of love.
The moon glows. I'm gonna follow these fuckers. You know, and their number one song is a Christmas song. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Hey Santa
They got-
Claus, their number one.
Sincerely is a big song of theirs.
I mean, there's so much talent, right? Yeah, Sincerely is their number two. Let's pop that.
All right, I'll give you one more quick one, and
Hold on,
then
hold on, I'm putting on
we'll get back to it.
I don't even know if the audience can even hear our music, so quite frankly, it's usually very quiet unless I turn it all up to a 10. How's your pops doing, man?
Oh, yes,
Yeah, not bad at all, man. You old fucker. Yeah. How's your pops holding up, Jimmy?
The motherfucker drives me crazy, man, because he latches on to little details and shit, and like won't let go of them. And I'll start to think he's getting punchy, you know. And then he'll go and he'll just like explain something that's so complicated.
On point complicated as a result.
Just boom, you know what I mean? And
Give me an example of that. Can you think of an example of your pops? By the way, look at this shirt. I wore this for tonight's thing. I don't know if you can see it.
yeah,
You see
That-
do you see the Indian?
yeah, of course I do.
Right below it, it says "Trust the government." Government's been doing great things to people for a long, long time. I'm always fascinated by people that are like, yeah, you know, the government wants to take care of us. Yeah, really? Yeah, show me a time in history that's ever been true. Well, now it's new. It's a brand new era. Yeah, right now they want to take care. Really? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the first time in modern history, I agree with you. I think we should trust the government. I think we should give them up everything. Give the kids and everything else. Fuck it. I mean, hand yourself over your body. Just have them put an experimental jab. Have you? Do you know anybody who's gotten the booster?
I know 100 people that got it.
Really?
Yeah.
What do they know that they're stupid or no? Those are 100 of your stupidest people. So let me walk you through the logic of the booster, okay? So
Hey,
I'm gonna walk
all right,
you through
hold
the
on, just
logic.
hold on one
Brought
second.
this is brought to you by Pfizer. Yes.
Hold on, just hold 1 second, because this is a Jimmy Lang show.
Okay.
So I got to just. Why don't we do this?
Yeah.
Why don't we play some music and be happy for a little while, and then we'll talk about all this bad shit.
No, I'm playing the music right now. I'm playing you something you haven't heard. This is a song called Texas
Oh.
Sun. And then we'll play it. No, but we're here to fire down, man.
You say you like the wind. No,
I just gotta get my second wind.
come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun.
All right.
Say you wanna hit the highway.
So you,
Come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. The Texas sun. Okay.
we're gonna take a quick break. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Texas sun. Caressing you from Fort Worth to Amarillo. Come on, roll with me. Sun dips low. Texas sun. Texas sun. Oh girl. Texas sun. When I fly from home, and the cold winds blow, stuck down somewhere, folks I don't know. 'Cause you keep me nice and you keep me warm. Wanna feel you on me, can't wait to get back there again. Texas sun. Texas sun. Texas sun. Texas sun. You say you like the wind blowing through your hair. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun. Texas sun. Oh, baby, you're so gorgeous. How about you and me? Take a little trip. Your big body. Take a ride with me, babe. You by my side. How does it sound? You and I. Oh, girl. Take a ride with me, babe. You by my side. How does
There you go. All right, motherfuckers. What are you taking a shit?
Good morning.
Well, welcome back. Jimmy, what are you going to do in the metaverse?
Is that Facebook?
I don't No. Metaverse is not Facebook. Facebook's trying to make it metaverse, but no, it's a whole different thing. What do
What
you
is
what? Do, so metaverse is where people are going to live not here on Earth. They're going to live in a virtual reality. They're going to live in the simulation. So right now, to prepare for this move, and by the way, it's hard for me to say this with a straight face, even though I'm intimately familiar with what's going on. People are going to live and buy property, and that's happening right now. So I went shopping for land in the metaverse last night. Dead serious. I'm not joking about this. Some of the land was close to the central areas on Decentraland were about $250,000 for a piece of hypothetical land in a hypothetical world. The cheapest piece of hypothetical land I could find in the metaverse was about $5,600. And that one was far away in like the middle of nowhere. And so it's a limited amount of hypothetical space in a hypothetical world. And within your space, when you buy it, you can do whatever you want. So here's the concept behind it. Why would people pay that, right?
It's makeup.
So here's exactly. So you and I are on the same page. But here's the hypothetical value. Okay.
Listen
You
to
could
that.
build a casino. You
Listen
could
to
build. You could build a casino. You could build a strip club. You could put up billboards. You could do whatever you want in order to generate revenue in the metaverse. So so as more and more people drift away from real society and they move into this fake world, you can actually create real revenue based on the value of your property as to how walkable and how congregated it is in these limited things. But my thought is there's going to be unlimited of these limited things, so it's going to be worthless eventually, right? Right now, the metaverse with these certain couple places that have said, hey, there's only this many lots. There's going to be a cooler and better version of that, where it's just going to make your current lots worth shit at some point.
I barely even understand what the hell I mean, this is so far over my head. I couldn't
Well,
even
it's
imagine.
not really, because video games and the internet. It's the same. It's just the next iteration for that.
They're going to live somewhere. I mean, they still got to eat. Is it virtual food?
Well, look at it. You remember Avatar? You remember Avatar, where the guy goes to sleep and he wakes up in a brand new thing, and he's in a big blue body and he's running
I've
around.
never watched anything like that.
You, have
remember
you've never seen? Have you seen Avatar? The
the only
movie?
thing I know is Tron.
You've never seen the movie Avatar?
No.
It's a good movie, actually. You should watch that movie. Yeah, it's fucking bizarre that you haven't seen it. It's basically yeah, it's weird. But watch the movie Avatar. It's similar to so it's a human being that in Avatar. They stole the movie of Pocahontas. They basically it's Avatar is Pocahontas, but with a twist. So the story of Pocahontas is Avatar. They actually stole Pocahontas, and they just added a blue man twist to it. So
There's no chance I will ever watch that.
you should. It's actually a really interesting movie. I'm telling you, you should watch it. It's not a bad movie. You won't be pissed off you watch it at all. I don't like sci-fi shit at all, but in this, I'm like, okay, that was well done. So they actually did a 3D version of Avatar. What's the most recent movie you've ever watched? Like a movie that was created in what year and what was that movie?
Yeah. No, I thought I just went to the movie.
I actually think that this might be your greatest value is to have you watch movies and give movie reviews.
But I haven't. I watched one with Jason Sudeikis, and
I have no idea who that. I have no idea who anybody is.
yeah, he's from Saturday Night Live. And,
Yeah, I haven't watched that in 50 years. So, but Jason Sudeikis, the name sounds.
yeah, it was pretty funny. Something I don't know.
What was the movie called?
We're the Millers.
Oh, it's a great fucking movie. I love that fucking movie. Yeah, that I've watched that numerous times. That movie's fucking hilarious, and I've recommended it a lot of times. It's fantastic. So was that your last comedy you watched?
I think that's the last one I've watched that I haven't seen before.
When did you watch it?
Before my sister went away, she tries to show me comedies. I show her old school stuff, and so that was one of the last ones. She also always watches the heavy girl that Melissa McCarthy. So there's a couple of those that are good.
Yeah, she's got a couple good ones in there. So the that Sudeikis movie. What do you think of that on the scale of comedies? Are you surprised that movie was made?
I watch these comedies and I'm a real, everything I like is old school. I don't like today's fighters. I like the old school fighters. I don't like today's baseball players. I like old school. Everything old school, old school, old school. And I'm such a huge fan of old school comedy. And then I watch certain scenes that are so unbelievably well written. You could tell they're well written. When you go back to our, classic comedies, the Caddyshack and stuff, it's not that they were well written, they were well played. Most of that stuff was ad lib. And now it's such a fine, you could tell, script, and it's genius. It's the shit they say is genius. But I think there was so much more ad libbing and freedom back in the day, and the Caddyshack and the Vacations and the those when we talk about our all-time classics.
I don't know, man. I'm a huge Caddyshack fan. I'm a huge Original Vacation fan. I think it happens across the board, man. Some of these comedic people right now are fucking brilliant, and that movie has so many great scenes in it. It's so fucking good. But there's a bunch more. Have you watched the new Vacation? I say new, but it's like 5 years old. But watch the new Vacation.
The Vegas Vacation.
No, that one sucks. That's terrible. It doesn't suck. It's actually watchable. But no, there was an actual it's called Vacation, and it's a remake, but it's Rusty as the dad, And
Oh.
Rusty is the guy from The Office. You'll know exactly who it is.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And the wife is uh, from the Bundys, the hot chick.
Oh, Applegate.
Yes, Christina Applegate's
Yeah.
the wife, and then they throw the kids in, and Rusty's basically going, I want to relive this. Let's go to Wally World, and
Yeah,
it's
man.
fucking
That's cool.
brilliant, dude. The whole thing's hilarious. They have Chevy Chase is in the movie. He makes an appearance in the movie, and
Yeah.
it's brilliantly done. And I tried to tell Patrick, watch it, because I've now watched that like 5 times. There's some good, dude. There's very few great comedies out there, but there's like 6 or 7 that have come out and just undone all this politically correct horseshit and just come over the top and just pissed all over it. Just to fuck it. I'm not gonna give a fuck that people are gonna be offended. Let's make a real movie.
I started watching Eastbound and Down when all this liberal horseshit was at its height, and holy shit, that is what
Second best comedic sports series in history. I should say third, because Cheers technically is sports comedy, but Eastbound and Down, to me, Blue Mountain State's my number 1. Eastbound and Down is my number 2. Have you seen Blue Mountain State?
No, never watched it.
Fucking brilliant, dude. They don't give a fuck in that is a show the entire.
Where do I see it?
I think at this point you might have to sort of buy a season or a rented episode, but the entire Eastbound and Down and Blue Mountain State are just they're 2 of the biggest who gives a fuck shows you'll ever watch in your entire life. So what season are you?
The moment you know what happened? That little riff you just played, Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Start it over.
No.
All right.
I'm not.
Then fuck you. I'm not going to tell you. Move on.
Go ahead. It's so far away right now. It's over. It's going to be very difficult. Are you talking? You talking about his harmonica play?
Yeah, it's just a badass start to a song.
It actually is.
I remember watching one of my very favorite girlfriends dancing to that particular part, and it's just a very good memory of mine.
That is that means she's white as fuck, because no girl of color would ever dance to a harmonica scene.
You'd be surprised.
Was she white?
I don't know why I even said that. Of course.
Because she's white. I was gonna say, there's zero chance a black girl's ever gonna dance to Tom Petty. If you find one that dances to Tom Petty, I don't know. Something's a little bit to miss there. Tom Petty, where do you put him on the Hall of Fame?
I fucking love it, man. But I don't know, man. He'll sneak up on you, man, because he's done so. His catalog is so enormous. Is that what it's called, a catalog?
Yeah.
Catalog. And just the year in and year out of being on top, do you put? I mean, he got so much influence from Dylan. It's almost like he's another Dylan. But
And John Prine was another one who influenced.
But I wanted to see him, and I was gonna go to see. He was playing in the Hollywood Bowl, and I had seen him like 4 weeks before. That's where the girl was dancing, and then I wanted to go to the Hollywood Bowl to see him, and it didn't work out, and that was his last concert.
Jesus, did you ever see the Monty Python live at the Hollywood Bowl?
No.
Yeah, you were you a Monty Python fan?
Not really. I'm a Hollywood Bowl fan. It's one of the greatest venues I've ever been in. Got to see Dolly Parton there.
Gee, that venue kind of reminds me of Red Rock a little bit, but like it's a no bullshit. Like it's a very special venue.
Oh man, I said it's one of the very best, one of my
And
favorite venues I've ever been to.
so you were not a Monty Python fan?
Nah,
How is that? How is that? What type of
never got exposed to it.
yeah, that's odd. Yeah, they did a live at the
Have
Hollywood.
you ever been exposed to Kingfish?
The band,
No,
the guy, the dude, Kingfish. What do you mean?
the Kingfish, Opie and Anthony.
Yeah, I was never. I was an. I listened to Opie and Anthony. I did. I listened to him, but keep in mind at that point in time,
What
it
the
was
fuck?
a
Hold on. What the fuck?
comparison between Howard
Hold
Stern
it,
and
hold it.
Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony. It was tough to. At this point, I'd probably lean Opie and Anthony because Howard Stern's turned into a woman.
We're way off. We're way off. I meant Amos and Andy.
Jesus, that's way older.
That's different. Okay, not
That's
Opie.
very fucking. Yeah, I was gonna say.
So do
What
you like them? Because do you like them?
do I like? Who?
Amos and Andy.
I mean, I'm not a fan. I mean, I appreciate it, but I that's a different era for me. I mean,
So
I haven't.
I'm not a fucking Monty Python fan.
No, but it's a different thing. Amos and
I'm an
Andy.
Amos and Andy. fan.
Amos and Andy's from like 20 some years earlier. Like Monty Python's
More,
been
more than that.
relevant. Monty Python's been.
So what? I don't like English people.
Oh, okay. I get that 100%. I get. Listen, I understand the British people have. We had to go over and kill them. We had to kill them here, and it goes guttural. It's right back to your middle. It's right back to your instincts to just kill them.
I don't like British humor.
Yeah, listen, some British humor I don't like, some I don't. But my God, you really are an old school guy. You don't like anything new.
A lot of times I do if I just take a chance, but I don't want to. So
But why not just
I just
throw your
like
nuts
the
on
old days, man. I like the old days.
They're gone. They're gone. Dude.
They're gone, man. I'm a complete cliche, living out my younger days.
It's but isn't it tough because the old days everybody's moved past, right?
Hey,
Fish
look,
called
I'm
one. That's it.
just,
Fish called one. Let me put something on for you that I think. Go
I'm
ahead.
just glad I don't have to do that road work and make that weight no more. So you can keep those old days.
Are you going to watch that heavyweight fight that I've been fucking yelling at you about Ngannou and the UFC fight?
You sent it to me, or it's coming on.
It's coming on 2 weeks. Hold on a second. Let me play this scene for you. Here you go. Let me play this scene. This is. Have you seen A Fish Called Wanda?
Your boarding pass, please.
Nope.
You should.
Very good. Now, would you mind stepping over here, please?
This
Oh,
is
look,
Kevin
Queen.
Kevin Klein. He plays an American ex-CIA agent that just hates the British.
Okay.
This is so bad for the show.
I was actually worried there for a minute. Keep your hands up. No! Put them up. I'll make a deal with you. I'll put one up. Put the other one up. This looks better.
Oh, it's no.
What are you doing?
Hold on.
Gun me down and
God damn it.
very good.
God.
Put the
There
other one
There
up.
we go. Got it.
This looks better. I'm warning you, Austin. What are you gonna do, Archie? Shoot me? Gun me down in cold blood like a dog? Hey! You want to settle something with me? Then why don't you fight me? You're a man, aren't you, Archie? And let's fight like men. Come on. All right, then. Okay. You look good, Arch.
That's right, Otto. I used to box for Oxford.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Well, I used to kill for the CIA. Now, get your hands up.
Oh.
You spineless bimbo. Now, out.
I'm gonna have to shoot you now, Archie. But got a little time before my plane leaves, and I'm longing to humiliate you. So get that barrel. What? In the barrel. Right. You feel superior, don't you? Well, you're the filth of the planet. Bunch of pompous, badly dressed, poverty-stricken, sexually repressed football hooligans. Bye, Archie.
Well, at least we're not irretrievably vulgar.
You know your problem? You don't like winners.
Winners?
Yeah. Winners.
Winners like North Vietnam?
Shut up! We did not lose Vietnam. It was a tie.
I'm telling you, baby, they kicked your little ass there. Boy, they whooped your hide real good.
No, they didn't.
Oh, yes, they did.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Oh, yes, they did.
Oh, no, they didn't. Shut up! Goodbye, Archie.
Gonna shoot me?
Yeah. Yeah, afraid so, old chap. Sorry.
Look, Otto, look.
Sorry.
It goes on and on, but one of my favorite lines is they're making fun of British people, and then a stuttering person comes to try to run them over in a cart. But you'd actually like that movie. It's a fucking fantastic movie. It's actually like the Italian Job, but as a comedy.
I didn't see the Italian Job either.
Dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? I don't watch that many movies, but you gotta pull your shit together. Like, there's actually some really good movies out there. If you haven't seen them, watch that shit. Actually, you shouldn't even be on here right now. Go watch the Italian Job. You're gonna go out.
Who's that, Marky Mark?
I have no idea who's in the movie. I actually don't even care who's in the movie. It's just a good ass movie. That movie actually made Mini Cooper's semi cool. It's just a really well done movie. I need you to go out and experience new things and do some new shit.
I got no desire, baby.
Well, what are you gonna do? Do you actually go back to like girls from high school? Are you that old school where you're grabbing like grannies that you used to want to bang? You know?
It's slim pickings out there, baby.
It's not slim pickings. If you're too old school, you're going to be grabbing some old girls. You know, girls like, hey, I like this girl in 1999.
Yeah, that's a different
Old
area.
as fuck.
That usually doesn't work.
Hey, have you? What's the last girl you were actually interested in? Like what's her name? Throw her out. Jessie Saunders is taken. So who else?
I've never been interested in Jessie Saunders. But I did note she looked amazing last time I saw her. Looked like $1 million.
She always looked like $1 million.
She always, yep. I
She
was
was-
real happy to see that. She
Yeah,
was
me.
good.
I would be
She's
happy
good
to
anyway.
see that too, because at our age, you look at a girl that still looks like that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. From O'Connell,
No, anybody. You have anybody you're even remotely interested in right now, or no?
no. What for?
Have you seen the show Temptation Island?
I'm being stupid.
I'm gonna put you
No.
on Temptation Island. Do you
No,
know the
no.
show?
Honestly, I'm being stupid. What for? I just, I don't, I guess get out or whatever, I'm going to blame it on the pandemic, but it's just taking a break.
I know the
Think
answer to this question, but have you
But
seen
you-
the show Temptation Island?
The answer is no, but listen, I
Yeah.
was married. I was married or with somebody for 21 years. And
Jesus.
so,
I didn't know
yeah,
you made it that long for those two. The two of them. Wait a second. How
it
long?
was
How long
it
did
was
your first marriage last?
it was 4 people. You know,
Oh,
I had a
you had,
long.
what? You were married 4 times?
No, I'm talking about long relationships. For 21 years, I was with somebody,
Okay.
4 different people. You know,
Okay. Okay.
it's I was, went from one to the other. It's kind of nice not to be attached right now.
No, I 100% get you. I 100% get you. But you haven't been on a date at all.
Uh, not in a year, probably.
Holy shit. That yeah, and listen, I admire that because you don't have to deal with any bullshit from
No, it's so no. I take that back. Uh, baseball. No, it's maybe 6 months.
I mean, Northern Virginia is just a desolate place for women. It's like where penises go to die.
No, I'm telling you, it's nice. I used to. No, it's nice.
No, I'm with you. I mean, trust me, you're probably living a better life than 95% of people.
You don't got to listen to the bullshit. You don't have to fucking figure out what your alibi. I mean, it's
What is your idea? If you were to describe your ideal, like out of clay, like you have a piece of clay, you're going to describe your ideal girl.
my
What's
mother.
your number?
My mother.
And what is that? Describe her to the audience that doesn't know her.
My mother's number one priority is my father. She'll act like it's the kids. Everybody will think it's the kids, but it's my father. And that is a very lost thing in today's society. And I really think it works. People get consumed with their kids. I'm one of them. I was more interested in being a father than a husband.
Yeah.
My wife, or my wife was more interested in having a couple trophy kids than actually being a mother. I mean, my mother is a wife and a mother, but she's a wife first, and that's very, very rare.
It is. I remember talking to a friend of mine in down at Carpool in Arlington. He had just had a kid, and I go, how's the kid doing? He goes, well, my wife loves the kid more than me, and I love the kid more than her. And I went, and he was being honest. He's just like, we both love the kid more than each other. And I went, that's not right. Like, I mean, you should love the kid, but not more than each other.
Eric,
So,
I have never had stronger feelings for the mother than I had for the kids. I've always been more into the kids. That ruined my first marriage, and the other way around ruined my second marriage, along with a couple other things.
Yeah, the attachment does need to be to the person you fornicated with in order to make those kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's actually a really interesting. So your mother always put your father first.
Absolutely.
But do you remember? Do you like how do you, as the son, how do you have that perspective? There has to be like a series of moments. But give me like
everybody knows it. Everybody knows it.
But how do you give me a moment that would like how would you relay that to the audience? Like how does a woman put their man first over the kids without disparaging the kids, of course, but how does that happen?
No, there was never any contest or anything whatsoever. She was an old school wife. She took orders, did what she was told, and that was that.
Like, well, you have to use an example. I'm asking for examples. Like not just she did what she was told, but like, hey, my father would say this, she would do that. You know, that like give me an example of take orders.
Well, she did what she. I mean, I can't give you a clearer. I mean, if it was okay, good example. All right,
Okay.
and I ran. If my father comes home from work and he wants to run out and grab a bite to eat, jump your ass in the car. Let's go. We're going out to get a bite to eat. Not we're going to get a babysitter for the kid. Okay, you're not going to. Oh no, I'm not going out to eat tonight because we got the baby and so on and so forth. So I was in a family of 10 siblings, so we were all raised by each other. She was a wife as much as I mean more than a mother. So we were raised by our mother
Each other.
and each other.
And each other.
Our
Yeah.
mother and each other.
It was a community. True community.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So most of the time you get these hardcore matrons or that head up these families. They call all the shots. She never called a shot ever. She just looked the way he wanted her to look, drove what she drove, and she was his wife. And then later, what happened was she started, I mean, I'm talking 25 years later, she started becoming involved in the business. And so they had their business relationship, which it didn't have an off button, so it's not like they go out off to a romantic dinner and not talk about business. You know what I'm saying? Or am I
Yeah.
just losing you?
No, I'm following completely. Go ahead.
So, it was my mother and I have a really special relationship. Okay, and it's unique. But I never even come close to kidding myself that I'm number
Whatever
not,
it is.
I'm number not one.
Yeah. And that never bothered you one bit, right? You
I
actually
res-
just
I-
respected it.
I respect it.
Okay. I love that, dude. That's
respect
actually, yeah. And none of the other kids have ever vocalized, Mom didn't like me enough. Like none of them. Or yeah.
No. Shit, no.
No, you're because how many siblings do you have, just for the record?
10.
Yeah, and Jesus Christ, your parents fucked so much. Oh my goodness.
Shut the fuck up.
They
No, but
bang, bang,
no,
bang.
there
Yeah.
wasn't none of that. There wasn't none of that. I didn't get enough from mom and dad, and everything was always right for us. We were always taken care of.
Where did your parents meet? How did they meet?
But it comes back to the roles. I say marriage, you got to have your role, and you don't swerve into the other guy's lane.
No, I
Now-
agree. I agree with you, man. I mean, we alpha male, real male, and real woman relation. What we're talking about is what really works. What you just described is what really works. Now, it doesn't mean that other things won't work, but
Hey, and sometimes it works the other way around. Sometimes the woman is the one that gives the orders.
yeah, you can have an alpha woman. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, it takes a very. I'm always fascinated by how many men are afraid to date a woman that's successful. Like they're scared shitless of a woman that
Yeah,
has a brain.
I mean,
Their independence and success. It's very bizarre how many. It's like a man repellent for that.
my grandmother was the alpha, and that's why
Yeah.
my father's the alpha, because he hates that my grandmother was the alpha.
My mother's an alpha. My mother-in-law, who I consider a bigger mother than in many ways than my own, was an alpha, and I like strong women. I think women that real, not the fake ones. You know what I mean? But but your mother is one of those strong women. So what you're describing is actually a really strong woman. You're um, she a strong woman's a woman who knows what she wants and is happy in what she's doing. Your mother took that role on and did what she wanted. This is not a woman that was coerced or otherwise. She was
Yeah.
built to do that. That's a strong woman. You know, it's a very bizarre that people look down on that in this era because that used to be the pinnacle of what women were supposed to do is be
Yeah.
a great wife and raise a large flock of children. And
And I'm not saying that it's even, I don't think I could get along with my mother as a wife. You know what I mean? With someone with the same personality. But that's what worked for them. So I'm not gonna badmouth.
well, you've already been through a couple iterations of females where it didn't work. But what's the number one quality if you do meet a girl? What's the thing you're actually most attracted to right now?
I told you before, sense of humor. Someone who's
Do you want a
you know,
Lisa Lampanelli?
nah, I mean, you know what I'm saying. That's 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 about a dead heat tie with looks. I still I gotta like what I see.
Yeah, but in loud, how's the talent in loud?
I just told you I don't even fucking go out.
Dude, are you serious? What about the boxing gym?
I don't see nothing, man. I told you I got blinders on. I'm not even looking.
When's your son's next fight, Jimmy?
I don't know.
You have two children. Are they both?
Yeah.
They're both fighting amateur, right?
I got two children. I got.
I mean, you're
5
talking
children.
about two children that are fighting.
Yeah, I don't know. One has COVID. The other one, I'm not sure when he's fighting.
Yeah, my whole family's coming out of that shit. It's like they sprayed it everywhere. Everybody has COVID. Yeah. So you have no idea when the other one's fighting?
Nah.
They're in the amateurs. They should be fighting like every 4 days. Isn't that the way
Yeah,
it works?
I know, but everybody's lazy, including the coaches.
Jesus Christ! Everybody's become a pussy, and my God, I think that's why you are attracted to old school, Jimmy. I think same way I am is because if you're here in the real world in the new world, everybody's soft,
It fucking
everybody's
sucks.
a fucking pussy, everybody sucks, everybody literally just is afraid of life. It's just a
Hey,
whole
listen, Mike Tyson it epitomizes America. Okay, he came in and he went from the very bottom to the top, to the bottom, back to the top. Okay, and he shows what America can do. And the same thing that happened to Mike Tyson seems to be happening to America. He got complacent. He fucked around, and he got his ass kicked. We're getting our ass kicked, and we deserve it because we've let all this shit happen.
Yeah. U.S. citizens have allowed a lot of bitchery, a lot of fuckery, and a whole lot of sluttery just to allow their life to be fucked.
We took this guy, and we didn't like the way he fucking talked and tweeted and all that other shit. We made a and what we did to Trump after how he took care of us and put us in a position.
Listen, don't
You know?
don't give me this pro-Trump shit. I'll tell you why. Because I should be a pro-Trump guy, but let me ask you a question. How the fuck did we get here if Trump was so awesome? How is Christopher Wray, the same guy who said under oath that that nobody from BLM or nobody from Antifa was involved in the 1/6 resurrection. Trump's the one who placed him in charge, and he lied under oath about that. Trump, don't give me this pro-Trump shit. He has all of the assholes that have caused all these issues. He's the one who placed them there. So I find myself wondering whether Trump was in on all of this, and whether this is all a big elaborate us versus them. Because why would Donald Trump give that big speech as and set up all of his supporters for the Capitol Insurrection Day? Is he stupid? Did he not know that they were gonna set everybody up, or was he a part of it? Donald Trump.
Maybe he's stupid.
How did Mike Pence become his VP?
I don't know.
Mike Pence wasn't his friend. Like who put Mike Pence with Donald Trump? How come nobody asked? Hey, Donald Trump, how did you get Mike Pence, who's somebody
have you researched?
How did you get how the fuck did you, who told you to put Christopher Wray in charge of the FBI, a guy who's clearly corrupt and a miserable sack of rat shit? I mean, who put that guy in? Who made you do that? Are you stupid, or did somebody put you up to it, or were you complicit? Those are the only three options. So fuck Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump is just a moment in history of horseshit to make us, divide us further. Either he's retarded, he didn't see the.
So why are we finding out all this shit now?
Either Donald Trump didn't see the voter fraud coming and did nothing about it and sat there like a fucking invalid, or he saw it coming, did nothing, or he was complicit. I mean, at some point, Donald Trump is not a savior. He's just, no matter what, all paths either lead to him being a part of this or the dumbest human ever. There is no in between. Either you didn't see the voter fraud coming. Donald Trump's not a savior. He's either dumb or he was a part of it. There's no in between. He either made the work. Jeff Sessions. How the fuck did you hire Jeff Sessions? Who made you hire Jeff Sessions? Who immediately went and turned on the Mueller thing into your piece? And then why didn't you fire that person? Why didn't he fire Fauci? Why didn't Trump fire Fauci? Donald Trump's still taking credit for all the vaccines that are clearly not working. He's still sucking his own cock over it. So either he's excited about the fact he had Fauci involved, or he was involved with it in the first place. Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump. He is clearly either retarded or part of this whole thing. Dead serious. There's no other option. Like either you missed the voter fraud, you missed Sessions, you fucking missed Christopher Wray, you missed fucking Pence, you missed the voter, all the other shit around you, and you just sat there sucking your own cock, or you're an idiot, or you were in on it. One of the two. Either way, it's not good. It's not good. So
I think he's an idiot.
Then why is everyone excited about Donald Trump? I mean, in best case scenario, he's a fucking idiot. So let's hope. Again, we're always given false choices as a society. But somebody put Donald Trump into the shit, and let's just let him run off into the moonlight, and let's just hope he was stupid, not in on it. Our best case scenario as a society is that he's just dumb as shit. Amen. Let's go, Jimmy.
By the way, when you're telling these little stories,
is one of the
All
most
right,
insanely idiotic things I've ever heard.
it makes it
At
so
no
much
point
more interesting for the
in the
listener.
rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy